live.
Welcome back to our GURPS Hammer campaign. I am Rigel, your GM for tonight's session. This campaign will be utilizing GURPS 4E rules, but is set in the Empire of Man, found in the Warhammer Fantasy role-playing setting, and in Warhammer Fantasy Battles, and in Warhammer Total War, etc., etc. In addition to our live streams on Twitch, this and all future sessions will also be available on YouTube and as audio-only podcasts, so kind of remember that when you roll your dice. Links will be found in the descriptions. Everyone in the game is here in at least spirit, even though Nosh went and killed his laptop to death. Ronki, I need a roll for your secret into the skull. And do you have any character business for Soren?
Negative on the character business.
Good. Mel, you have had 2 days with access to a forge for copper tongs, so you can go ahead and make the smith iron check to repair her personal anvil. And do you have any character business for copper tong?
I do not. Other than that,
All right, you got a success by 2 on the repair. Okay, so that means you have got your personal anvil functional, and that is the stuff that came from the shattered anvil of doom. Which means you have completed your short-term ambition. So go ahead
Woohoo.
and increase your character point total by 1 and start thinking of a new short-term ambition. Acme, what's
Okay.
up with Acme?
All right. How much does the personal anvil weigh? Because I think I tried looking it up and I didn't see.
Did we not have that on there? Let's see. Where did I see that? How much of the crap? Yeah, we've got it on there. It's 75 pounds. If you look at your inventory.
Yeah, that was 75 pounds of anvil bits that she had. So
Right. Okay, where did I see that? That was in one of the low techs. I am trying to remember which of the low techs it was.
okay, I can take a look and see if it's in there.
Actually, so I think, wow, okay, so I guess it was normally going to be the normal portable anvil would be 100 pounds. But I believe we had determined it was going to be about 70 or something like that. I will have to make a note and double check that. So we can probably leave it at the 75 for now.
Okay, sounds good.
Good. Gigerman, do you have any character business for Jorg?
Negative on the business at the moment.
Roger. Nosh, do you have any character business for Enfys?
Well, now, how many character points do I have to spend?
Let me check, and it currently lists as 3, if that's how many, if you were keeping track of the stuffs.
Okay. I think I'll put a point into the following spells from the Movement College. A point into haste.
Right, you're doing that. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. That is going to require I believe it was DF 4. Yep. I am reminding myself. Oh, wait, I put that on the thing. Duh. I could totally look on Discord and see what I said because I put the page number. Scroll down. DF4, page 15. All right. So, yeah, I think you have to make a check, but I can't remember. Using scrolls. Using scroll requires accent. Okay, yep, you've got that. Must be ready to reading takes twice as long. The spell is cast exactly as if the reader cast it on his desired subject. Then roll as usual using the scroll's skill level. Oh, I have to determine skill levels. Well, it came from a dude who's really good. So I'm going to do this. All right. So you said you were doing haste?
Yes, haste. I think I'd like to put a point into glue as well as hinder.
All right. Haste. Doop. 1 point. And all right. So, right. So since so it needed a skill level, and since you killed your laptop to death, I am rolling for anyone who's just listening, rolling off your character sheet for you since you can't see it, even though you can talk to us. Let's see. Okay, so the haste was fine. That was I assigned the scrolls with a skill level of 16. That was a success by 3. Haste is added on there. I think it's going to be higher than what it is. It automatically adds 4. No, 3, right?
Yeah, it should be 3
Yes.
because of the major.
Yes. Okay. I knew it wasn't adding it right. I was like, that is not right. Okay. So haste is on there. We're going to do one for what was the second spell that you were looking at?
Glue.
Glue. Okay, so I'm going to use since I'm right here on the thing, I'm using Fireball +1 just for the to get the 16. That is going to be a success by 7. Glue it is. That's interesting. I don't think I've actually looked at that spell before.
It's an area spell. Makes a surface extremely sticky, trapping anyone stepping onto the surface as if by a rooted feet spell. If a victim successfully resists, he is free to act until he moves more than a yard from his original position, at which point he becomes stuck again if he is still in the glue area. It has a duration of 10 minutes.
Oof. If
Does it
fails to
require
resist-
you to hold out your index and pinky finger and project from your hand?
If he fails to resist, the subject's skill with any weapon except a ranged weapon is at -2, and his dodge score is cut in half, round down. Ow, that is kind of brutal. Good choice.
And then the other one will be hinder.
All right, hinder. Doing the same, rolling off the fireball. Ooh, that one was close. That was success by 0.
So basically with these 3, I will be able to at least boost someone's move and dodge so I can help our party. And then with glue, I can try to do some crowd control. And with hinder, I can also then try to hinder one of my targets who may try to dodge a fireball.
All right,
Yes.
so that is going to consume 3 of the 4 spells. You will still have 1 more to potentially determine, but those are pretty good choices, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah. Okay. And the other thing I had for you there is regarding the second sight thing I mentioned last time about it being detect. Completely disregard that. I was poking around in some of the magic spells, and frankly, there are some knowledge spells which pretty much do the same thing. So it's like I'm going to compile a list of knowledge spells that all Imperial spellcasters have access to, which are going to be, it's like detect magic and maybe aura and 1 or 2 more, which will serve the same purpose. Okay,
Alrighty.
cool. FX, do not need a roll for your secret because you already did that. And you still need to finalize your short-term ambition. I remember you previously threw out a bunch of ideas on Discord, but didn't narrow it down. We know you're in the process of moving, so
I totally forgot to follow up on that. But
yep.
I think you kind of gave me a good role play option with that girl that I ran into the last session.
I'm certain that nothing bad will come of it.
I don't know if this can fall into the short term in terms of finding a trainer, in the druidic paths, if you will, or the ranger magic version of Warhammer.
So are you? Let's see. Find a trainer.
And,
That's
yeah. I don't know if that could be something short term and 2, 3. I don't know how many sessions you said that would be a short term.
Yeah, I guess that's potentially possible. So we'll keep that in mind. Do you have any character business for Christoph?
I do not have any character business. I'm hoping he survives a couple more sessions, so I'll have a big chunk of points to spend.
Okay, so if we recall last, I realized Coppertongue wasn't here, but last session we had a first couple of days of being stuck on the patrol, and yesterday was, or yeah, not yesterday, but the last session ended following the big fire thing. So let's see. So that's going to definitely mean Infus is still really tapped out when it comes to power tally. But I think we actually ended right about there, right as you guys went ahead and officially went off shift.
Yes, I recall that Soren was mortified to find out he was doubly indebted to the wizard.
Indeed.
Grr.
Yes. All right. So today is the 27th of Yardrung. It is a Marktag. And I just hit the wrong button. That's the button I needed to hit. Okay, so Sergeant Klumpenglug, after you guys have, sort of pretty much come to the conclusion, okay, this inn or the tavern that was on the dockside was absolutely a victim of arson, and he's just like, well, that's not my business right now. I am going off shift, and is releasing you guys to potentially go off shift as well, or if you want to keep on digging into this stuff, that's entirely up to you. He doesn't care. He's got an appointment with some ale.
Side thing. Do you have a map of Bögenhafen?
Why, yes, I do. Regarding this, does everybody actually see the pen that's over here?
Yes.
Okay. Can you actually click on it and actually does it bring up the thing?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Cool.
Where are you looking at the pin? Where?
There should be a pin that's just over there on the Bögenhafen during Schaffenfest map.
Oh, I see. Let's see. Yes. Yep, I got it.
Yep, that's the gazetteer, I guess you would say, the legend, so to speak. The ones that are not on there are the A, B, C, D. That's the stuff that is slowly starting to be set up outside as they prepare for the Schaffenfest. So you don't need to worry about that as of yet. And the only other thing is I added everybody's little images on there, and let's see if I can actually get these things to cooperate. Right, I have to click on the correct thing. Dang it!
You should do a reverse link from the map from the the legend story note or whatever to the map itself. So from the story note we can open the map.
Right. Okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you mean. Let's see. I was in the process of trying to move some stuff. But yeah. So that's. I will keep that in mind as I try to get this stupid thing to cooperate with me. And it is.
It appears we do not have access to these tokens.
Yeah, I made them layers because I didn't know how else to do that properly.
You can just drop them on as tokens.
They're not tokens, though.
It doesn't matter. It's an image. Well, okay, so in order for it to actually show up as a token, you have to put it in the tokens folder.
Okay, hold on. Well, let me move crap around.
At least that part has gotten a lot easier than it used to be.
Yes, I suppose.
Yeah, that whole tokens business got me when I was running Redacted, I think. I had to remind myself, oh yeah, you got to put it in the tokens folder, or it doesn't think it's a token.
Well, let's see if this will work then. Okay, so then I shouldn't have done it the way I did it. Okay, so let me. What the heck? Did I hide those? All right, let's see if this will work. Hey, that looks like it'll work. They are a little large.
Yeah, that's not that bad. Yeah, we'll still size them to the grid. So if you set the
I
grid
don't think I
size,
have a grid on there.
I don't know what it does when you don't have a grid. I guess it uses whatever the natural pixel ratio is.
All right, that'll work. Okay, so the location that you guys are in. Did I need to turn that thing off? Thought I turned it off. Where's the stupid button?
You
There it
always
is.
have to turn it off.
We hates it, and I always hit the wrong one. I always hit the locked button up at the top, which opens up the sidebar. I'm like, no, that's not the right one. Oh, actually, technically, I should move her down to the barracks.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And there's
Oh,
two
is that where it is?
Sirens.
What?
I'm seeing two Sirens.
I'm not.
One there.
Yeah, the one that's on the layer is still showing.
I thought I deleted all of those. Okay, I guess I did not delete all of those. There.
I just got snapped.
Yep.
No, see that was
Thanos.
that was Castor Lieberung over there.
The other one.
The other one.
Yep, the other one. We think he's a clone now. The only other crap, I closed something and I shouldn't have closed it.
Typical.
Yep. And then I closed something else that I shouldn't. I am having a day. Finally. Okay. That would be funny, running into Soaring clones in every single location.
Would explain a lot as to why he keeps being recognized.
No, it's like the one. Every time he kills one, he gets more powerful.
Speaking of
what do you
multiverse
think?
clones and stuff, Deadpool
Nope.
3 is awesome. Just saying.
I haven't seen it yet.
It will not disappoint. It's probably my favorite Deadpool.
Okay, and the so out of the tavern that you guys had rescued various people. Among the two that you did recognize was Christoph's pseudo adopted uncle, who has a boat and was at least moderately inebriated, and he was in conversation with a fellow that you guys had interacted with previously in one of the towns en route, and this was the guy that was investigating some missing carts for our missing shipments for House Rugbroder. But ignoring all that jazz, you had determined that the tavern was most likely victim of arson, and now you are off shift. So it is entirely up to you what your next course of action is going to be. You have to come back on to shift tomorrow. You have one more day as day on the day shift, and then they're going to flip you over to the night shift for 3 days. Yay!
Joseph, your tavern seems to have burned down. You're probably in need of another one.
Yep, and he's like already pointing down. He's like, I'm going to that one.
Might I
Look,
recommend this one?
but this one's burned down.
This one over here, the next to it.
Oh, okay. Sure. So the immediate question I have, and I will probably start, since she wasn't here last time, I will jump to Copper Tom. So as noted, you were at least temporarily assigned to the so-called barrack smithy, which honestly isn't really a barrack smithy. They don't actually have quite enough room to have a proper smith or stuff like that present. So they have been basically renting at some stuff out from from one of the actual nearby shops that have or not shops, but a nearby smith who has anvil and such like that, or leasing the space from a nearby smith. This nearby smith, who you have probably been working for, or at least with a little bit, is also a dwarf, although he is less of a smith and more of a silver. Well, I guess that's still technically a smith. I was going to say less of a smith and more of a silversmith, which doesn't make any damn sense.
Whitesmith instead of blacksmith.
Yes, I think that is what they called the silversmiths, I believe.
What was
This is
that?
Brooke. Go ahead.
What was that? Like, what did you just say, Geiger?
Whitesmith.
Whitesmith. Okay.
Which I think we just called silversmith.
I think
But yeah.
I think Whitesmith works more than just silver. I think they work like tin and some other stuff.
Oh, okay. In that case, then I think she would probably classify as that as well, because she's got smith tin and lead.
Yep. And she also
lead and
has
tin.
jeweler, if that rolls into that as well.
Yep, he's definitely into that. Well, currently he is in the process of making this big silver. It's going to be like a circle of some sort, and he's like, it's a private commission, and he's just like perfectly content with you doing whatever it is you're doing over there. Because although you will definitely hear he's complaining up and down. Anybody asked about his so-called assistant / apprentice, who's just a complete drunk, and he never even sees him. But yeah, so with regards to her, is there anything that she wishes to have tried to accomplish in her off hours as well?
I can't think of anything that she would try to do in her off hours. Although, would you like some crit fail hunting for rolls to see actually how well she handles what she's doing for for this guy?
Well, you're not really working for him. You're so he has this shop with the with the anvil and well, the smithy, and the barracks, the guards barracks. They basically said, "Oh, you know smithy stuff. Well, we're sort of renting some space or leasing from this guy. So take this guard stuff and repair it." And
Yeah,
so
so
you can
basically,
totally see if you totally hose some poor unfortunate guards uniform, or not uniform, but armor / weapons down the road. That
okay,
could
so
be
do you
fun.
want armory?
Sure, yeah, that'll work. But 4, nah, you're not hosing any.
Oh,
Well,
there we go.
fail by 1 on at least one of them. Yeah, well, it's like, oh, well, I'm certain it won't come back and be bad for somebody. Probably,
Ha.
maybe it's gonna break in that super critical moment.
Yes, it is.
That poor guy, he's gonna die tragically because of that. Though maybe he deserved it. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, if there is, what the hell? Got a wall of text. I can't read all that.
It's not important.
Yes, we know that a coppersmith works with copper, and a goldsmith works with gold, and a gunsmith works with guns. Ugh, weirdos. Okay, so yeah, so on the second day, I did forget to or not forget to do that, but during the day, while you guys are doing the patrol, right, it's a little bit before the fire broke out. Soren probably got a moment of like, what? No, I already paid, as he saw this owl, the familiar looking owl thing, sort of winging toward the group, although it seemed to have been coming to Enfys and not to Soren. And in its what the hell, talons, whatever, it seems to be carrying a parchment, rolled up scroll thing.
I will take the scroll thing.
All right. As soon as you take it, the owl is going to totally look at Soren. It's going to turn its head towards Soren, and then fly away. The parchment is just like a rolled up like letter sort of thing.
Here is how you cast explosive rune.
No, and in the a very not great handwriting, it looks like a scrawled letter that states, apologies in advance. I realize that in my haste, I neglected to properly answer your first question regarding potential entry into the Bright College. Be advised that I shall dispatch word to them of your circumstances once I arrive in Altdorf. I cannot say how they will respond, but your request shall be set at their feet. You may consider this a binding oath, and it's got the Majos Blitzen's like stamp, or that you saw earlier, like his ring or whatnot. So that would probably classify as, I believe your short-term ambition was to ensure that word got to the Bright College. Was that it? I don't recall. Think that's what that was.
That's a good question.
I'd have to track it down, but I was operating in the presumption. I thought that's what it was. Where it's like I want to get word to the college. I thought it's what it was. So I was going to classify that as the short-term ambition complete, because hey, if it's a binding oath from a Majos, then it's going to happen. So you will have that ambition will be complete. So you will have one additional character point, and you will need to start working on figuring out what your next short-term ambition is.
Okay.
Okie dokie. I have updated his thing. All right. So, let's see.
Short-term ambition. Find more owls to send to Soren, except have them come back to me.
When Soren sees the owl go to Enfys, Soren will chuckle and laugh. The owl is coming to you now.
And then you realize that he's not paying the owl. The owl was delivering something to him. Damn wizards.
It didn't look like a purse, did it?
That would have been hysterical, wouldn't it?
I will pocket the parchment.
Good. All righty. Let's see. So, who was I going to? I can do. Soren, what is Soren's plans for the rest of the evening? Remember, you guys get off shift about 2 hours or so before the sun goes down, hour and a half, something like that.
He's probably going to chillax in the tavern.
All right. What about Christoph?
Well, does he have a chance to maybe replenish some of his, supplies like arrows and whatnot?
Yeah, you can probably find some place to purchase arrows and such like that. I mean, remember the town is filling up with everybody arriving for the Schaffenfest, so there's going to be people selling stuff all over the place.
Yeah, then that's what he'll do. He'll top off, his quivers.
Did you actually lose? I thought you had recovered most of those.
I did. I recovered, I don't know, half, I think, character sheet, but I'm still down some arrows.
All right. So you go off to repair or replace the arrows. Gotcha.
You can get Copper to make you some spiffy dwarven broadheads.
Yeah, that would be cool if she's got time for that. I don't know what the dwarven broadheads do. But yeah, I'm down about 8 arrows total.
Wow, you
that
actually
were unrecoverable.
So noted. Okay, and what is Enfys planning on doing during your downtime?
Oh, well, I suspect maybe I don't know how you want to rule on my learning these spells and when I'm learning them.
Right. Well, based off of the reading, that of how that works with the regular, or at least in the using that DF4, you could have totally done that in under 30 minutes. It looks like because it's like casting a spell from a scroll does take twice the usual casting time. However, as long as you meet the prerequisites to learn the spell, when you roll against the skill on a success, you pay the point and you learn it instead of casting it, which is basically what you did.
Okay, so I guess I would have gone somewhere to do all of that, But definitely, I just want to hang out with Soren and drink in the bar. That's about it.
Okay. All right. So Christoph is at the meandering through the marketplace to get there. You are going to be able to probably find those arrows without too much difficulty, because simply based off of the sheer number of people that are coming in here.
Okay.
And as you're there, you are going to realize that you are being watched. When you glance around, inevitably, you are going to see. I should probably click on this, and you can see the girl or young woman that you saw earlier, or I guess rescued or whatever the yesterday. Who's like standing in an alleyway, and she's like sort of looking, and she like holds up her fingers, or one of her fingers to her lips, is like doing the shh kind of thing, and then her eyes are going to shift away from you into the into deeper into the crowd.
Okay. Um, would that be maybe like a shadowing or a stealth roll to not to avoid her, but just so nobody else kind of pays attention to me, or just follow her, discreetly?
Well, she's not moving or anything. She looks more like she's like attempting to draw your attention towards something or someone. And it's really easy to identify what's going on, because it's like the very loud crowd, because well, it's a pretty busy marketplace, has gotten quite a bit quieter as the witch hunter that you saw earlier is riding through it, through the crowd, through the streets. Although I could not quite get a proper image with the witch hunter hat, with my I'm not paying for the free AI thing, and the hats the hats that it put on there looked utterly ridiculous. I'm like, what the hell? Do you not understand what a hat looks like?
Which,
Yeah. So
which one is the witch hunter here on these character pictures? Ober.
Bögenhafen.
Oh, there he is. Okay, yeah, he looks mean.
Yep, his horse looks mean. He looks mean. Everybody's like going, "Oh man, I don't want to look at him. I don't make eye contact. He might think that I'm a witch or something." And you will also note that Cybele, or I don't think that's the proper
Sybil?
pronunciation. I think it's Sybil. Yeah. She like clearly wiggles her fingers in his direction, and just as you realize, you're going to see the straps on his saddle just completely come loose, and he
Oh
goes
no.
whoop, and just is dumped to the ground. And
So,
if you
oh man.
yeah, if you recall, there was quite a bit of excrement on the streets the other day, so he's probably going to land in some of that. It's really hard not to at least find a little humor in that, and at least one of the guards that are like following him is going to at least snort a little bit, like that was funny. The witch hunter does not seem to find that amusing, and orders that fellow that guard who snickered to be clapped into irons.
Oh wow.
Needs to be determined if he just tried to assassinate this guy.
Also,
Okay.
throw him to the ground very roughly.
And I also need from you a vision-based perception check, please.
From Christoph, right?
From Christoph, yes.
Okay. Let's see. Perception.
There are gonna be some penalties, but I'm not telling you what they are.
Okay.
Which
I rolled a
by 0.
Success by 0 for perception, and then my observation is 1 point higher if that matters. If it's considered active.
Let's see. I think the observation would make sense in this case, because as I recall, observation is This is when you're trying to not be noticed while you're watching someone. Is that not right? I think that's the way.
I don't remember anymore. I always thought of observation
Yeah.
as like actively using my skill of looking around. That may be wrong.
That was the way it was originally written up, but I know that at least in Action, and I think some of the other books, they've sort of redefined it. And I had written all that down in the redacted campaign, and I don't have it here. I could find it
Right. I'll have to keep that in mind. So if it's success by 0 or success by 1, the 1 is it's you're not going to notice it at first, but eventually you will sort of notice there's actually a ring that is like, rolling across the cobblestones, and it like comes to a stop right right after it touches your boot.
Well, how convenient. Would it be pick, not that I have the skill, but filch to pick it up without nobody noticing? Maybe a default roll there?
Is that filch? That might be filch. Hell, it might just be stealth. Let's see. Filch is this skill lets you steal objects that are sitting in plain sight without being spotted. So I guess technically it would kind of sort of be filch if you're doing it that way. Let's see. What are the defaults? Defaults are Dex -5, pickpocket -4, or sleight of hand -4. And then there are modifiers. Let's see. The modifiers they had listed as +3 if the light is dim. That's not going to be accurate. +3 if you have a Confederate to distract attention. I'm going to say that actually probably would apply because everybody is kind of sort of staring in that direction or in the direction of the witch hunter without trying to attract notice.
Okay, how much was that? The bonus
that is
for discretion?
Well, it's normally +3 for distract. I'll give the +2, so you don't have pickpocket or sleight. Do you have pickpocket or sleight of hand? I don't remember.
No, so I'm gonna do -5 for Dex, you said, and then a +2.
Yep.
Right. I don't know. Right on my
Dex -3.
I'm trying to like type in here and I always have trouble adding -3. There you go. Okay, ready, rolling Dex. With a -3, I rolled a 7. Success by 3.
All right. So yeah, you can pick that up with no issues.
Yeah, so he kind of bends over like, wiping something off his boot or whatever, and like pockets the ring. Go to skills.
All right. So I need you to roll 3d6 into the box, please.
3d6. Okay. Into the skull. Is that what that means?
Sorry. Yeah, into the skull. All right. As soon as you touch that ring, you are able to determine that thing is at least moderately magic.
Oh, I thought I was gonna die, like blow up or something.
That would have been funny too.
I don't. That's based on my majory, right? In the perception roll. I don't remember. Does that let me? At this point, do I know the strength of it, or any other like the school of magic?
I believe all you know is that it's magic. I'll have to double check that now.
Okay.
Because
right.
I know that I know there are actually spells for that, like analyze magic and all that jazz.
Okay. Well, I mean, at this point, he's just gonna. He looks over at the
on a success, which was success. You intuitively know that the item is magical.
Okay.
You did not roll a 3 or a 4, so you are not sure whether the magic is helpful or dangerous or how strong it is.
Okay. Well, for now, I think he's good. He's gonna pocket it, kind of, check nobody noticed him, and then see what the girl's doing and what the witch hunter is doing.
He is having the witch hunter is having the guards recover all of the stuff that has seemed to have spilled out of his saddlebags, and fixing his damn saddle, and heading. And then they are heading on while everybody else is going. Please don't notice me. That poor guard looks a little surprised that he's like, hey, guess he shouldn't have laughed. What a jackass.
Yeah.
Then as soon as they move on, the girl is gonna look at your way and sort of give you a smile, and looks like she's planning on leaving. You can totally chase after her if you want to.
Yeah, he will follow her, shadowing.
Yeah, he's totally not being stalkery at all.
So I did roll shadowing. That didn't put any modifiers. Success by 2.
Yep. Well, she is not actively trying to avoid being followed, so I guess there's that. Her plan is to head on out the gate, and probably deeper into the forest, which you can't really tell that exists on this map, but it's clearly like a little bit deeper foresty area farther that way. She may stop at the Shrine of Tall on 45, or location 45 on the map. So if you intend to catch up to her, that won't be particularly difficult.
Yeah, what he's trying to do is find out where she's staying, or if she's with anybody else, like another group of people.
Nope, doesn't look that way unless they're outside the town. Although you like a lot of everybody has heard the various guards complaining about all the people who are setting up tents and stuff like that outside the city wall or the town walls, while they're arriving in cartloads and wagon loads for the Schaffenfest. So it's entirely possible maybe sleeping out there.
Well, he's gonna follow her, however long it takes. Well, not more than like the whole day. See where she's staying at, just to kind of get more information on her, or unless she discovers that he's following her.
Okay. In that case, I should probably remind myself shadowing.
And we never see Kristoff again.
How did you know?
Oh man.
Let's see. It is the ability to follow without being noticed. Did it roll quick contest? Your shadowing versus their vision. Okay. So I got her stats on here somewhere. Vision. All right. So she definitely seems to be aware that you are following her. It's probably going to be one of those that's like you're thinking, yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing awesome. And then it's like she's like stopped and sort of looking totally at you with that questioning look on her face, like, what the hell are you up to? What are you doing?
Yeah. So if she ever if she confronts me, he's just gonna be like, well, I wanted to learn more, and you're the only other person that I know that might be able to help me. That's not an Imperial. I mean, that's his story. He's gonna try to be honest with her. I mean, be honest with her in that sense.
Okay. Let's see. Well, she's like, well, I'm still not sure if I can wholly trust you.
He says, well, if I wanted to turn you in, I would have told the witch hunter when I had the chance.
Okay. She's like, well, he'll get his soon. It seems to be considering her options there. All right, I should probably move him. He's like heading out of town. Well, she's like, well, how? You said you wanted. Wait, what was the thing that you said? I'm sorry, I was juggling something.
Oh, he just said she didn't trust me, and he says that if he wanted to turn her in, he's had plenty of opportunities to do so, even in the market when she pointed out the witch hunter. So
why would you do that? That would be a terrible idea because if he do you not know how they work? He would just as soon burn you for even knowing who I am.
Well, there is that. He gives like a wry chuckle. Well, I don't know how else I can prove to you that I mean no harm. He's like, I only wish to know more about these powers that I have, and you're the only person that I know of that can help me.
And across town in the tavern, Infus sort of shivers, doesn't understand why.
Well, from a anyways, that's what he says.
Yep. I'm in the process. I was looking over something. She gets an expression. It's one of those that it's like, It's like, well, you might be of some use. Why don't you come with me? And she is heading out of the town, or at least towards the gates.
Okay.
All right. So everybody else except me. I don't know what Copper Tongue was planning on doing once she's off shift. Did she have anything in mind?
Not in particular. She will probably track down the group and drink, lift a mug.
So
She
you
is in
just
pretty
pub-
good spirits because she's been doing what she loves for I don't know how many days now.
You just pub crawl until you run into us.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, this is kind of close to. Yeah, no, she sees the building that's on fire, and she's like, "That's where they are," and she goes next
That's
door.
true. There is a lot of talk about one of the taverns on the dock side or the docks was caught on fire and nearly burned down and all that. It's either it's a toss up between that being the news of the day or the fact that an infamous witch hunter has rode into town. And everybody's wondering who's going to, how many people are going to be burned by him.
And how we set fire to the tavern just to get a scapegoat.
Yep. Because, witch hunters, man, there's some crazy people.
And speaking of scapegoats, we'll have to figure a way of pinning this on Hans Peter.
Yeah, that would be rather amusing. So multiple of the PCs are basically doing that, and I actually needed to double check something again, even though I was just looking at it. I need everyone, but I guess I will roll for Enfys since he killed his computer dead. Everyone but Christoph, give me a vision-based perception check. It can be open.
Succeed by 0.
Success by 0 for Copper Tongue.
Gary's not paying that close attention, whatever it is.
Enfys succeeded by 5. So Enfys will absolutely note that there are some shady-looking characters that seem to be, I don't want to say locked on Soren, but definitely more interested in keeping an eye on Soren than anybody else in the building or in the tavern.
Your fan club is
how
back.
does this not surprise us?
Ugh.
So Enfys will nudge Soren, and without looking at the individuals, he'll just say, "Look over my shoulder. I think you're the center of attention again."
Again? Soren will have a look. Does he recognize any of the people?
I don't know. Give me a IQ check.
You know, it's been hilarious. Enfys
Fail
learns
by 1.
Enfys learns the itch spell and makes Soren keep itching his nose, itching his ear, and itching his eyebrow.
Soren does not recognize either of the dudes. They look like pretty strapping fellows. Definitely got some muscles on them.
You must have a body double somewhere. I mean, weirdly, that dude looked like you. Then we get caught in some lawyer's office from hell, and now there's more people showing up looking at you.
So Soren's going to look at these guys and go, like, sup, and see how they react.
They give you a very cool nod and continue sort of drinking, but you get the feeling they're less interested in the bottom of their mug and possibly more interested in keeping an eye on you. It doesn't feel like the previous time where you ran it, or you ran into the dudes in the bar who were very clearly mistaking you for the now late Castor Lieberung. These guys have more of a feel which Soren is definitely familiar with, I don't want to say stakeout. That's not necessarily the right word, but definitely following you to keep an eye on you for some reason.
Soren will sort of sigh. I'm going to find out what they want. And he'll get up, walk over to their table.
They will look at you as you approach, continue at least faking to sip from that mug.
Soren will say, "Sup?
Can I help you?
Yeah, I noticed you guys paying particular attention to me. I don't know you.
But we know you.
You do?
You've been asking some questions.
Yeah, what sort of questions?
Need to be careful what strings you tug, boy. Sometimes they'll tug back.
You're going to have to be less cryptic. What questions in particular have I been asking, and whose strings have I been tugging?
Now, let's see. Where is that going to be?
What was he researching the other day? I don't remember.
Just who the new crew is.
Right.
In the city.
What happened to the old crew? Who's the new people? Okay. Let's see. How do I do that? It's not quite intimidate. I guess it's sort of intimidate. He the one that's actually doing all the talking is going to look at you and say say softly the Brotherhood's gone. You should not think about trying to resuscitate it.
Why would I?
Then he gets an oddly skeptical look on his face, like he thinks you're full of crap, which is probably true because you usually are.
The Brotherhood was the previous Thieves Guild, right?
That is correct.
Why would I want to resuscitate those guys? I was not affiliated with them when they were around.
Uh-huh.
It's been a little while since I've been here. I just wanted to find out who's running the show now. Appears that you guys... What's the new mob called?
Right. Like we're going to tell that to someone who works for the guard.
Soren, he found out the name of the new lot, right? What name they sort of go by?
Let's see. There isn't actually an official name, which is probably one of the things that probably piqued his interest, because it's like, yeah, even thieves want to be considered, I don't want to say part of something, at least semi-respectable. So they like to dress up their mob in, yes, we're a proper guild. And it's like, you haven't heard anything like that about the new crew. You've just heard people say, yeah, there's a new crew who's in charge of all that jazz.
Okay, so Soren will say, well, I guess you people represent the new crew. And I'm part of the watch because I have to be, not because I choose to be. So don't let that fact make you think that I'm not approachable. And he'll give him a wink.
All right. Let's see. So how sincere is he being about that?
Genuinely sincere.
The talker is going to glance briefly to the other guy who still hasn't said anything. And then look back at you. He's like, I'll speak to some people. We may have some words later.
Well, I'm sure you know where to find me.
Yes, we do.
Soren will then sort of, lift his drink in a, cheer and say, well, carry on. Enjoy your night. I know I will be. And then he'll leave the table.
He will hold off his mug and it's like, Reynald, go with you.
Yeah, Reynard, do that with you too.
Actually, speaking of that, I totally meant to mention that. That is actually one of the gods, and Soren may actually approve of Reynald, who is Smiling Reynald, or the god of the tricksters and the trickster god. The best part was...
User in your channel timed out.
Uh-oh, somebody timed out. Who timed out?
Looks like Nosh.
Looks like Nosh. Of course.
So not a reference to my Banestorm character who began life as a Warhammer character.
Yes, and I found that kind of amusing. No, the best thing about Reynaud, well, I like the last part where it's like, according to myth, Reynaud was once mortal, a gentle bandit who robbed from the rich and gave to the poor. This so charmed Shalia, who is the goddess of healing, that the goddess fell in love. One fateful day, she found Reynaud dying, fatally touched by the plagues of the Fly Lord, aka Nurgle. Unable to accept this, she let Reynaud drink from her holy chalice, granting the rogue eternal life. But it was all a trick. Reynaud had faked it all, and laughing, the new god gleefully danced into the heavens.
Nice.
Okie dokie. Let's see. So, right. Now we have to see if. Okay, so regarding the drink, apart from drinking, is anyone planning on doing anything else for the evening, or should I jump back to Christoph so he can get even deeper into trouble?
Dirk may have
Tongue.
had something else in mind, but he's going to end up drinking all night.
Copper Tongue will just drink.
User joined your channel.
All right. Okay. Let's see. So, I guess that was Nosh coming back. Is everything okay on your end, Nosh? Since I heard you drop off, but not say anything unless it's me.
Well,
Weird. Okay. So, Christoph, Sybil will lead you out of the town, and she is actually going to probably ask a little bit more about try to it's like who exactly you are, why tell her something to convince her to wholly trust you.
I think he's AFK.
Is the AFK a moment that tracks. Yeah. So, did they just completely? Did Fantasy Grounds just completely screw up the set AFK thing for the GM? Does everybody else see that he's AFK?
I see it. I see the little clock
Yeah,
on
likewise.
his avatar.
Yeah, because it's like I don't see that on mine.
oh, is that what it's blowing up on?
And anytime someone sets it, I get that error, unknown special message type received, set AFK.
I'm gonna have to see if that's a rule set bug or is it a core bug.
I don't know why that would be in the rule set.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it might be.
Well, I can also, afterwards, if I can actually remember, I can just quickly test that. I can have a non-GURPS thing, and then start a thing, and then have a PC version or a player version, and set it, see if it does the same thing in, like, I don't know, D&D or Traveler or something like that. Right. Okay. So, Christoph, Sybil will lead you out of the town, and will make some sort of small talk with you. She is trying to get a better glimpse in who you are, and why she should actually trust you.
Okay.
So, how much of
obviously-
his background / history does he relate to her?
Okay. That kind of what might open up a little bit.
Yeah, she's basically just asking, it's like, who are you? I mean, apart from, your name, where are you from?
Well, he's got his quirks, right? I don't know. He probably won't openly, or what's the word, voluntarily say, my parents were burned at the stake, or, I got caught. He won't say those things.
Right.
Unless she specifically says so, asks him about like those things. So he won't. But he will talk about. He will mention that his parents. He. I don't know, because he doesn't really talk about himself that much. So I think he may have a hard time opening up about his past unless she specifically asks him about it. But if he will talk to her, like he will do his best to try to talk to her. I don't know if I'm saying this right? He's not going to volunteer the information.
No. I think I get where you're coming from. Okay, so the direction that she is leading is definitely towards more of the trees. It's kind of similar to or probably the same sort of location you were going before. But as you were approaching the trees, you suddenly start feeling this deep unease about those trees. It's like, what's going on? Something doesn't feel quite right.
I will say that he's got his, all his tracker senses and training. He's not blindly following her.
Right.
You know,
She's going to pretty quickly realize that you're starting to get a little wobbly, and she's gonna grin, and she's like, there it's a spell. It keeps people from bothering me. Just have to power through it.
it's like I can
Building trust. And
I can sense it.
yep.
You are so going to be a human sacrifice.
I'm just I guess I'm not so good at the role playing piece of it, but trying to play the loner.
Yep.
And
She's like, well, yeah, I could absolutely use an ally here, because I intend to. And she's gonna pause, and then she's gonna study you as she says this next part. She's like, I intend to kill that witch hunter.
how do I feel about that? I guess I don't really care. Yeah, he's not really he doesn't really care about those things, he's not squeamish. He's not a murderer, sure. But I guess witch hunters are they bad people, in general, right? They probably
Technically,
they probably
they
persecute
are
in a
legal.
sense.
They do have legal authority.
Well-
Think of them as the Inquisition.
Well, I'm not thinking from a legal authority perspective, because I'm just thinking more from a moral perspective. Do they? I don't know. I'm thinking the what is it? The white children, or the children of the white from the
White, white cloaks,
the
children
dragon.
of the light. Yes.
Yeah, those. They supposedly they had legal.
That is actually wow. Somebody else has actually read the books. That's weird. Yes, they are very similar in a lot of ways. The only difference is technically the witch hunters are legal. They do operate under the aegis of the Church of or the cult of Sigmar, the big church.
Mhm.
That's the Catholic Church if Jesus was Conan.
He doesn't care about that.
Technically, witch hunters are proper lawful authorities. It's just honestly the only time people like to see a witch hunter is when they're convinced that an actual witch is present and causing trouble.
They're lawful and they're awful.
Lawful
That's
and
a
awful.
really good way to put it, actually. Well, they're mostly lawful.
Trying to remember. I think that he will not bat an eye based on his background with his parents and the witch hunters, and he doesn't care about the lawful aspect. He'll make that known, and he wouldn't consider it murder because these guys murder people, innocent people, all the time. So they're not necessarily good people. That's his thought process and conversation with her.
What would The Witcher say?
What would The Witcher
Fuck.
say? Yeah, that's pretty much it. She is going to take note of that, and it's like, oh, very interesting. Yeah, and then it's one of those where it's like, she's going to start asking about your, how good are you with the bow, et cetera, et cetera. And clearly, I'm not going to try to emulate it, but she's clearly going to be basically feeling him out to see, how likely it is that he might actually assist.
So he says basically, so if I help you with this, you will teach me.
I could possibly teach you some things, yes.
One patsy coming right up.
Or show me those who can.
All right. So let's see. Okay. So she is going to consider that and is like, yeah, I think I can. This. Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. And going to continue into the copse of trees. There's like clearly she's got like a rudimentary tent in there, and she's got a couple bags. She's like, hold on, I think I have an idea or two. And she's going to root around in her bags, and is going to extract, yep, stealth camping indeed, extract a couple of scroll tubes. And, she's going to extract well, it's kind of raggedy looking, like it's been there for some bad time, for a while, and it's kind of old. And she is going to hand it to you, and she's like, the one of them. She's like, this spell uh, um, is keen vision, and if you can learn this, then I can definitely use you.
Oh, okay. He's gonna laugh at that one. My abilities are very rudimentary.
Yes, I've noticed you're like hiding it. You're hiding it away. Why did you pluck it away from yourself?
That is a long story, and I figured it was better to be alive than to pursue a path of danger. But that has changed.
Yes.
Well, yeah, he's willing to try, but now, metagaming portion, I'm like, I don't know, I'm not that good at it. But
all right. So this is basically the keen sense thing, the keen sense spell. But it's keen vision. So just like Enfys, you are going to need to make a check. It is crafted. I have to look at her skill again. It is, where's it at? Wow. So it is the scroll level is crafted at 14. So what you could potentially do, like Enfys did, is you can read it, and if you wish to, you can spend a point if it's successful and learn the spell instead of casting the spell.
oh, so for the scroll, I roll against her skill, the
That
skill of the
is what
scroll.
I understand. Yeah, it's like you need, wait. What is your magic?
So I'm majoring
language?
0
Okay, so no,
and 11
yeah,
IQ.
yeah. No. I meant the language. I saw that. You needed at least accented or better, but clearly your mom taught you pretty well in that, because you like speak, read, and speak magical at
Yeah, before she
fluent.
was burned at the stake.
So yeah, so basically the way the way it is written in there is that it is then roll as usual using the scroll skill level. So it's like you roll that, but in this case you could spend the point, and it's like you do that, and then you have learned it.
Okay, so she's giving me a test. If I can learn this,
Yep.
then we'll take next steps.
How hard can it be?
Well, he wants to throw kind of something back at her. He's like, well, how do I know? Like, prove to me or show me that you're just not, that you're more than just a amateur spellcaster like me. I don't know, I guess. Because at this point, up to this point, he's been assuming that he knows a lot more than him.
She'll look at him. She'll go, all right. And she starts, and she will cast a spell. And also, thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Oh, man.
I need you to
Witch.
give me a
The
will
witch.
check.
Spell charm, 14. Success by 6. Oh, my God. All right.
I just saw Mel's reaction there.
Oh, man. Well, I do have a backup character made somewhere. All right. Rolling will. Success by 3.
Okay, so
he
she beat
failed.
you. So based off the description of the charm spell, you are her faithful slave until
For how
the
long?
spell expires. Following any orders, no matter how dangerous, and the duration is normally just 1 minute. However, she realizes she's got an opportunity here.
Oh man. Do I have any chances to break free, or is it once I'm done? Once I'm done, I'm done. Or what's the word? Once I'm charmed. But yeah, this sounds fun.
I see a P for Patsy.
Bro, you have no idea. So she sees she's got she has an opportunity. So she is going to cast a quick string of spells here.
Well, she's definitely proving her, my question. So
This is true. It's like, hey, yeah, can you prove you're actually a spellcaster? And it's just like she's like smiles, and then he's gonna wake up, in another town, missing his pants, wondering what the hell just happened. All right, so she's going to see the opportunity and quickly jump on it. So I'm going to need another will check from you as she casts Weaken Will. Not very well though, so you may beat this one.
oh my God, I love it. Yeah, and it says he will be unable to explain and unwilling to discuss or even think about it.
So I need
My
you to
my
totally
loyalty.
fail this. I need you to totally fail this will check.
All right. Oh man.
I mean, like,
All right.
fail really bad.
So you made it by 0, huh?
Yep. But damn.
Boom.
So okay,
Success by 6.
Yeah, that didn't work. Well, that's unfortunate for her, but that's okay. She's gonna. Does she try that again?
So she's not gonna gain my trust at this point.
But
Yeah.
yeah, well, does he know what she's actually doing?
I don't know.
Let's
I
see.
couldn't tell by the description. It sounded like
No, she's not gonna do. She's just gonna go to the next one. All right. So
Your besties.
right now, yeah, you're totally besties. Okay. So, and maybe he has a better idea, or the player has a better idea of why the witch hunter was hunting her now. Okay. So she's gonna skip to her next one. Even though, let's see, I gotta check my no, she needs that one to. She's gonna try that again.
I'm gonna be like an assassin.
She's gonna try it again, so I'm gonna need another will check, and that is not great. But
Except I think that the spell might not last long enough. Get back into town and do all this naughtiness.
yep, give me another will check.
Will
Success
check.
by 2. Yeah.
Fail by 1.
All right. So, so for the next couple of spells, she's gonna pop you on. Your will is reduced by 5. It's like she's done this. All right. So next spell she does. I need a will check at -5. Lesser Gaius, as that is basically. Oops, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong thing. All right. So Lesser Gaius is. Uh-oh.
User joined your channel.
Somebody having wobbly issues again. Lesser Gaius is basically give the subject one command, which the subject must obey. This must be a command to do one specific thing. It must be reasonably possible in the GM's opinion. So that is, and it's like, destroy every tree on this continent is not a legal Gaius. Unless the Gaius is fulfilled or removed, the subject must make it his first priority. And the duration is permanent until fulfilled. So her command is going to be, you're going to help me kill the witch hunter, Fabergus Tynstruck. And then you were like, oh man, I'm not sure I can trust her. And it's like she knows that's the thing, because the last thing that one of the last things she does is she hits you with a false memory. So you don't remember this. I need a will check -5. Success by 2 on the false memory.
Oh my god! All right. And she's able to cast all these spells while I was, before the first one expired, or
Yep.
or
It's really, really close for her.
It can be maintained as well.
and they could be maintained. But I know there's like a penalty for each maintained spell.
-1.
All right, so false memory. So so I roll again?
Yep, at -5.
So rolling against resisting false memory. -5. If not, I'm gonna remember everything. Failure by 3.
Did you just become a victim of fuck around and find out?
That's interesting.
Duration variable.
So I was calculating her threshold there, and that trick clicks over into the calamity thing because she has succeeded it. Something goes awry with the spell. We remember this. Ultimately, the spell effects are still present, but with an added detriment of some kind. Oh, hey, yeah, we did this. This was the same thing. Now I'm wondering, what would the added detriment be on Lesser Gaius? Oh, wait, this is false memory.
He doesn't
okay.
get the false memory either. Now he has amnesia.
Well, no.
FX.
Yeah, go ahead.
FX, you've been playing these games for a long time. You know you never go with a woman into the woods alone.
User in your channel timed out.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
a bird in the bush is always bad news.
Did he
He's like,
miss that entire comment?
he's like,
Probably.
maybe if I log off, nothing will happen. They'll forget about it.
It's the online version of la 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 la.
It's going to be really sad. He's like, oh my God, my computer died. I can't come back. I'll be like, no.
So the spell worked, but there's some sort of detriment.
Yeah, I'm looking at false memory right now, and it does look like it eventually will wear off. But I'm honestly, with that detriment, it may just be like it doesn't wear off.
What exactly is the false memory?
Pronunciation.
Did so her the false memory was just basically going to be like honestly it's going to depend, but my
Your channel.
okay, he's back.
Wow.
So
I'm like, why is it quiet and like nobody's answering?
yeah, we thought you were just going no, this didn't happen again.
Did you hear me say, FX, you've been playing in these games long enough to know that you never go into the woods alone with a woman.
I did not hear that, but I hear you.
Well, to be fair, Christoph is kind of young.
Well, he's got curiosity plus the background. I mean, I know I played into it, but I thought it was interesting.
Good times. Okay, so as noted, the calamity check says something goes awry with the spell. The effects are still present, but there's an added detriment of some kind. The false memory that she was going to implant was going to erase the fact that she charmed him, weakened his will, cast Lesser Gaius, and replace it with her casting a like a concussion, the concussion spell, which is like I think it's just like fist of air or something like that, and hitting the ground so he can see. Oh yeah, she can cast that, and then possibly also casting light.
And it'll wear off.
Yeah, false memory, it states when the spell ends, the duration is variable. It depends on how much you spent. She put like 4, at least 4, which no, or 8. Did it cost me to? Yeah, she spent the 8, so it's going to last at least 24 hours.
Maybe the spell affects her as well. So she has no memory that she cast all these things on him.
That's what I had said before I got disconnected, or that's what I thought I said.
That's not bad.
I thought it would be funny if she also lost her memory. But
so all memory of the event is wiped from both of them.
So we meet again and we're like, hey, how's it going?
That's not bad, but the first
And we
thing
can
that
still be
comes to
friends.
mind is she'd be like, go, crap, I got to do this again.
Now, making it permanent isn't really a detriment given the purpose of it.
But if you make it that she forgot as well, she might go, "Oh, I need to cast these spells on him."
Now, the other thing you could do is that it works, but it doesn't replace the other memories. And so he's got memories of both incidents.
And so I'm confused. I'm like, oh,
Deja
which one
vu.
is the real?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I do like the fact that she doesn't remember it either, but her threshold level is now super high. And as far as as I understand it, the wizards are going to be or spellcasters are aware of what their threshold levels are.
Right, but
So it'd be like,
she remembers that she cast concussion and all this sort of stuff as well.
yeah, okay. And then may just be super confused when he's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll help you kill this guy.
Yeah, she'll be thinking, "Oh, I was going to, spell fuck your brain, but that was easy."
Oh, crap. Hold on. I have to double check. Actually, it may have been slightly worse. Because I forgot I did that twice. So that would be plus. I have to do maths in my head. Plus 2 more. So I rolled a 10. That's even worse. Okay. So, no. I had forgotten that she had to cast Weaken Will twice, which is a kind of expensive thing. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Ronky, you'll probably be the person who would remember this. Is like, okay, so she successfully cast the spell. So in normal cases, she's going to expend all of the appropriate fatigue. It does not matter whether the target makes or does not make the opposed check.
Correct.
All right, then, yeah. So it's just when you fail to cast a spell, or it's like, I need to make a 14 and I roll a 15, that's just 1 point of fatigue.
Yeah, because if they resist, the spell still worked. They just resisted it.
Okay, so Weaken Will to get it at the -5 will, like she does, is 10 points. And she cast that twice, and I did not initially calculate that. So the calamity is not a 10, it's a 12. And on the table, 12 calamity table, wizard loses a point of will permanently.
Oh, ouch.
Ouch indeed. Okay. So, yes. So,
User joined your channel.
regarding the false memory there, Christoph, you are going to remember her casting light and some, a concussion spell and such like that. So she does seem to remember or seem to be more than capable with regards to spell casting. And for whatever reason, he seems more open to helping her murder this witch hunter. He's very, very persuasive.
So he doesn't remember the other mind control spells at this point.
That is correct.
Okay.
And then it's it's about that time. It's like it's like she's almost kind of timed it quite right, where it's like the charm sort of wears off and such like that. But he's still like she's got a good point. This guy is kind of a jerk, and maybe it is a good idea to whack him.
And he was already predisposed to that, anyways. So.
Yep.
He's totally on board.
All right. So, she has offered the keen vision spell to see if he can potentially learn that.
He's like, hell yeah, I can do this, and he's going to try.
All right. As stated, since it's based off of the person who makes it, it's going to be 14.
Rolls a 7.
All right. So you can expend a point, a character point, and learn that spell. I can just drag. I would just drag it in there, and we can change that to vision.
Since when I reconnected, I lost everything that was on my screen. Where do I go? Let me see. Table? No. Abilities, spells.
Yeah, I just dragged it onto there. Wow. I forgot you had reduced that stuff, so you're down to 9. And once she sees that you're aboard, she's like, "Excellent. Okay, so I have been tracking this guy for some time, and he has a tendency to, after he has someone or put someone to the pyre, he's going to retreat to someplace isolated and pray to Sigmar and beat himself with what is that? Is that flagellation? I think that's what that is. So I think that'll be the perfect time. We just have to keep an eye on when he the next person he puts to the stake, and then we can strike.
Okay.
All right, you're totally going to be the patsy. That's going to be awesome, isn't it?
User in your channel.
Well, he's still gonna try to do this, and get away with it. He's not gonna like martyr himself.
No, that's totally understandable. All right, cool. So she is going to be quite pleased and happy that this is going to work, and will suggest that the two of you meet again tomorrow and see what happens.
Okay, until we meet again, Sybil.
And she's going to fight the urge to cackle like a maniacal witch.
Oh man.
Because that's never helpful.
And here I thought she was nice.
She's a witch. Well, maybe she's got a point. Maybe she doesn't.
Okay. So Kristoff is gonna have to be making some plans on how to carry out his assassination attempt.
User joined your channel. User joined your channel.
What's going on? Is everybody bouncing back and forth? Is something wrong?
It's probably the Wi-Fi signal dropped here.
Super weird. Okay. So, everyone will be able to. Oh yeah. We did have one thing that we forgot, Giger, with regards to Jorg's injury. We had discussed that.
Oh, right.
What did we discuss? I have to remind myself, because you haven't had a full day, like 24, whatever, to just chillax. But you had mentioned something I think you did in Sea Dogs.
Right. So I had decided that if you're doing light duty in the Sea Dog situation, that you could just do the health check at like a minus, like at a penalty based on how severe the disturbance is. So in this case, if all we're doing is just walking around town mostly all day, then there's really not that much stress.
This is true. The only thing that was really stressful for him was the fire, but all he did was stand there and shout orders. He wasn't part of the bucket brigade. He was doing the, you get over there and do this thing, and you go over there and do this thing. So
also, I have performed percussive maintenance on my headphones, and it seems to have corrected the problem, which suggests a physical issue.
Time to get new headphones.
I like these. We're working fine.
Get another pair of them.
Pull them apart and fix them.
No, we're
That's
Americans.
not a thing I do.
That's not what we do. We go, oh, this is only working at 90% of effectivity. It's time to throw it away and buy a new, better version.
Or more likely, in my case, I get really pissed off when it breaks down and I smash it.
That's called anger issues. Right. So, do you remember what the penalty was? Would that just be like health -2 in this case, since you're down 2 hit points?
I gave a -2 to somebody in a boat. So maybe you think it would be worse than that or better than that?
No, that's
Your call.
That's probably fine. I'm fine with that. So you can make that roll, and if it's successful, you will recover 1 point.
I think I had 2 days worth.
Yeah, okay, that's a valid point. Although yesterday you had the chase. That one was kind of strenuous.
These were separate days? I think there was a day before that, though, because there's the day we were in jail.
Okay. That's true.
User in your channel.
Well, what the hell, man? Wasted.
Okay, so you have one more? Yeah, because of the day, there was a day in jail.
Well, I got one.
All
back.
right. Fail by 2, fail by 1, fail by 0, or success by 0. So you will have recovered 1 of your hit points.
Guess I'll take what I can get.
Yes, indeed. Okie dokie. So the day will come to an end, and I needed to double check something. And all right, so damn, that's rough for her. All right, so the next day will arrive unless there is something that someone else has in mind and is wanting to do other than doing a bunch of drinking.
I should probably insert this, given that Mel wasn't here last week. I didn't get the opportunity to bring that up, but now that she is here, at some point in the last few days, I know that Copper had still been working on her anvil, but Jorg is still looking for a wizard to potentially cast Mend on the sword that he has. However, he's kind of expecting at this point that that's probably not going to work out, and he will have been discussing options with Copper. So the question here is, would she be willing to take that failed rune sword and turn it into something else? Or is it cursed beyond being able to turn it into something else?
So she's pretty stubborn, and she definitely does not like that the sword exists as is. But she likes Jurg, so that may kind of cancel that out. So what she'll do is she'll give you a pretty nasty look and probably argue with you about it, but eventually she'll acquiesce and be like, fine, leave it there, and just point to a spot off to the side, and she'll get to it eventually.
So then the question becomes, what do you turn it into? And I suppose I could just leave that up to you. But I was thinking on turning it into a broadsword because I could still use that, or even a longsword. I think it might still be within that size range, but it could also be useful to turn it into like a long knife or just a knife in general. I don't know. It's up to her. There's a lot of extra material, and however much smaller it goes.
She'll just shrug and say, just tell me what you want.
Okay, well, he needs a sidearm, so let's call it a long knife.
Very good.
Now
and she'll get back to what she's doing.
Yeah. And I'll need you, Giger, if you can, to let me know how long that would, using the GURPS stuff, how long that would actually take to to craft. But it's not something we can. It's definitely not going to be done today, I don't think.
No.
So
I would expect it to take weeks at least.
I don't know. Making a knife is, that doesn't.
Well, it's a long knife, and ideally it would be fine as well. So.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
I guess
Cool.
we'll see.
Cool. So the next day is going to loop around. You have everybody is still on. What are we rolling up? Well, she's going to break something. She's absolutely breaking something. I don't know what is she breaking.
Is she back in the forge, or is she with the group?
That is potentially up to you in this case. I figure that the stuff that was being done in the forge is at least caught up, so she could theoretically join the rest of the team as you're doing your patrolling, or she could go, nope, I still have stuff to do in the forge.
She will check in with what's his face that we're reporting to and let him know. Caught up in the forge, where do you want me?
Wow, he's going to be totally surprised that you would actually admit to being caught up.
She is honest.
I know, but he is not, which is why he is totally surprised that that happened. Wow, yeah, what is he going to say? Why do you have to make me think like that? The nerve. I have to look at his stupid stats. Does he have issues? I don't. No, well, he does not have any issues with dwarfs. Sure. You can walk around with them if you want to. They're going to be patrolling the. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Where'd my damn map go? It's going to basically be patrolling the Hafenstrasse and the Nullner Weg today, which will be going past the Gottenplatz, which is the God Plaza with all the temples. Don't have dockside duty. Huzzah!
Right. And assuming he doesn't say anything else, she'll just leave. No salute or anything.
I don't even know if he's going to notice. Not Soren. Jorg is also going to have learned that a sergeant was actually present and asking for him, a different sergeant. And son of a bitch, where's my damn images? Gah, I'm having image issues. I guess there are worse things to have. What looks like one quarter a month.
Yeah, so a week-ish. And that's
Right.
fine.
So, Jorg is going to learn that Sergeant oh my goodness, Uberschung was looking for him. He will recognize Elsie's name. Hey, look.
Oh, right. Überraschung.
Überraschung. German names. But she is clearly not here at the moment. She is normally on shift more in the Edelring and the government area. But everybody's like, oh man, because
Where was
like,
that?
What?
Oh,
Where was what?
sorry, my brain didn't fully comprehend all
When
that happened just there.
Sorry, because that was me dropping the ball. When you guys finally did get back to the barracks the night before, you will have learned that Sergeant Elsie was asking about when you were off shift, but clearly you were getting snookered on in a tavern, so she does not sleep in the barracks.
Oh, so she's on the watch.
She is on the watch. Yes, she is one of the
I was
higher
not aware
ranking
of that.
sergeants. She might be the top sergeant,
That'll be weird. She always liked to be on top.
but it's one of those that everybody is like, oh man, they scare a lot of the regular troop guys.
She's a softie.
No, she's really not.
No, she's really not.
Okay, so the day is going to be really, really irritating because you've got even more people coming into town, and they're getting more and more excited about the Schaffenfest, which is right around the corner. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 6 days away, and everybody's like eagerly counting the time or the days. They're counting down. So naturally, you're having all sorts of not manpower issues. Just too many people in town causing way too much trouble. For the most part, the patrol is not necessarily particularly difficult. It is just kind of frustrating because of the various people. You will end up being called to a fairly large brawl that is taking place at the Journey's End, which is like the big road. It is the big coaching inn here in Bögenhafen, and it is actually over here at 36 on the map. If someone is looking on the map. And upon arrival, the landlord, which is, was it Frau Landau, Frau Odelina, is kind of frustrated because you've got these dudes that are just going at it, in the middle of the area. They're just like clearly a little drunk. They're kind of beating one another up. But as soon as you sort of step in there, Sergeant Clumping Clug, looks at it and goes, "Oh, crap! Look at that! There's two merchant. These guys are members of two different merchant houses, and you will definitely be able to see that all of them are wearing like what is it, the not coat of arms, but the sigils of two of the four merchant houses. One of them is Rugbroder, and the other is Steinhager. And Clump and Clug, you guys remember what I said about not getting in the middle of the merchant houses? That right there, that's exactly what I'm talking about. We should just not get involved in this at all. Tomorrow they'll be, competing to see who pays Frau Landau the largest apology gift. But meanwhile, they're like smashing tables and punching one another, and smashing steins up against somebody's head. So it's a pretty big mess.
And this is what you normally do? Just let it all play out?
Sergeant Rudy's like, well, that's normally what I do. But the landlady's like, you're the guard. You're supposed to stop. Look at the mess they're making. Stop them.
Technically, inside the tavern inn, whatever it is not the responsibility of the watch.
She absolutely shoots you a very dirty look.
Just saying.
Interestingly, she doesn't even seem to be bothering with Clump and Clug. It's like she immediately knows who he is and what he is, quote, good for. And so she's like,
how many are involved?
It's a tavern fight. It's a big bar fight. I don't know, total of 10, maybe 12. It's difficult to tell with all the scrum.
How loud can Copper yell, I wonder?
She doesn't have anything that would lend her extra volume. She actually kind of looks like she wants tenacity. To. Yeah, she kind of actually looks like she wants to go join in and start punching people.
So like that irresistible dance.
Mm-hmm.
Put that chair down. What are you doing?
But Dad.
Sorry.
Honestly, I do not know how one manages a crowd that way.
I'm more inclined to just make sure they don't spill out into the streets.
Well, that's easy. You lock the doors.
What about Soren? How is Soren reacting to this?
He's watching with some delight because, screw the merchants.
Hey, isn't Sarah in the face?
Wow, do we actually have a group that does not have penetrating voice for a change?
That does seem to be the case.
Interesting. And Christoph, what about him? Is he just like, not, like, yep, sorry, don't want to get involved?
If there's someone that sort of comes close to our table, the fight comes this way, Søren will push them, away, like, back over there.
Well, you're technically not at a table. You guys are like officially on watch, and it's like you've come in the door, and there's, fists and beer and all that stuff flying at one another. And
yeah, maybe I'll leave it up to chance. He's definitely doesn't like all the people around him. Anybody gets close enough, which I'm sure somebody will, he's gonna roll against his bad temper.
Gotcha.
So I might as well roll, right? Because I'm sure you're going to say somebody gets close.
Go ahead and roll. Yeah, if you've got bad temper, go for it. Actually, I think Copper has bad temper as well.
Yeah.
She does, and she failed her klutz, so keep that in mind.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So he's barely keeping his emotions in check, but he's ready to lash out at anybody.
Copper Tongue is pretty amused right now.
Oh, she made it.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
5. Crap. Okay.
So, Rudy, we're not getting involved, right?
He's totally going to almost verbatim repeat what York said. He's like, well, technically, as long as it's not on the outside, it's not town watch business. And now Frau Landau gives him the very filthy look. Okay, let's see.
Is she as hot as she looks in the picture?
Absolutely. So why were you making impulsive there? Mob peacemaking. Good Lord, what is this?
Mob peacemaking.
All right. Possible. Okay, it is possible to talk a hostile crowd out of turning it into a violent mob. This is already a violent mob. It's in the middle of a fight.
Can make it more violent.
Most of the standard influence skills don't work. People in a mob are too caught up in mob passions to respond fully. Yeah, there's a reason why we call them mobs. Let's see. For intimidation, see enforcing order. We need that one. Other useful skills include the following: fast talk can distract, leadership can halt it, public speaking can calm it, religious. Oh, there we go. Somebody's adding enforcing order. Getting a mob to back down works like intimidating a group, but the process is touchier. Mob is a +3 to resist intimidation. Okay, so a failed intimidation attempt makes the intimidators a new target for the mob violence. Okay, so successful intimidation attempt may change the mob's rage into panic. Above, what's panic above? Where is this from? I'm presuming social engineering.
Yeah, social engineering.
Okay, so let's see. Intimidating a mob requires a focused effort by a group acting in concert. An individual or small group, leaderless groups can attempt to intimidate a mob subject to penalties. An organized force with a leader can attempt to intimidate a mob. Okay, so this would probably be classified as the organized force, possibly with a leader, although York is going to have to step up and make Rudy, not do anything. What page is this on social engineering?
72.
Dankeschön. Yay, gratuitous use of German in a Warhammer game. I was trying to remember what 72 was in actual German. Okay, so panic above. Oh, panic. Yeah, mobs can be driven by emotion to roll a fright check using the average will of the crowd. A failed roll turns the crowd into a terrified mob. Okay, so right, so enforcing order is going to be the first thing. It's going to be organized force with the leader can attempt to intimidate a mob. So in this case, that is between, page 69. 69, dude. And of course, I typed it wrong and it went to 59. Between organized, that's just leaderships. Okay, so in this case, I think it is going to be an intimidate check. I am presuming that Jorg has the intimidate skill. I may be
that
wrong.
Would seem like a skill that he would want, and
if he does
not have.
If he does not have it, does anyone have it?
What was that?
Wow.
Intimidate.
Negative.
Nope.
Wow.
That one's going on the list.
Well, I guess
Søren could try and fast talk them.
That doesn't work against mobs. This isn't a mob. This is an actual fight. So you have to use the enforcing order. So it is basically using the leadership. So I guess you can make an untrained intimidate check. There,
that
Jorg.
Seems like it would not be terribly effective.
Yes, but it would let you potentially spend a point next week to actually pick it up
at the cost of being attacked.
It'll be fine.
I mean, you might as well just throw myself in there and start beating on people.
Well, if you intimidate them and fail, then you can run outside, and then they're in our jurisdiction.
Well, there's that.
You don't necessarily want somebody to talk to you about their, jurisdiction, right? I totally watched for some reason, the first scene of Matrix showed up on my YouTube feed the other day, and I'm like, I need to watch this again.
No, intimidation doesn't really feel like the right thing here. This is essentially, if anything, it's an appeal to authority.
Enforcing order. Getting a mob to back down works like intimidating a group, page 69, but the process is touchier.
Yeah, that is well, okay, it works like intimidating a group.
But if you read the rest of it, all it's talking about is intimidation checks.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense here. We're not trying to send them in a panic, trying to get them to stop.
Well, you're trying to enforce order. So
Yeah,
you're
it's not
enforcing it. So you,
intimidation. We're not convincing them that we're going to kill them.
No, you might be telling them I'm about to throw every single one of you into prison.
No, that doesn't really work here.
We're gonna make that you can threaten do that, and then maybe they'll be part of the.
I'm not even going to bother trying to intimidate them because it's going to fail.
What would your role be? Because I kind of want to see the fail now.
A 6?
I think I have faith in you, man.
I do not.
yeah, I reckon you can do it.
See, everybody has faith in you.
When you fail, pull them into the street, and then we can pounce on them.
We could always just grab one guy, drag him outside, and say, "Oh, you shouldn't have come outside."
No, I have no idea what to do with this. You've
Well,
kind of got
I'm
a
in the
military
process.
problem here.
I'm in the process of I was scrolling up to look at the other stuff to see. Okay, provoking and taunting. What are you going to do?
This
Pick a
isn't
fight.
mob.
Yeah, it's 2 fights. It's sort of a mob. They're a bunch of drunks. Should I be kind of concerned that all the information about unions and social engineering is right above the part about from persuasion to force?
Surely not.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, so collective action. That's the collective action stuff. The crowd density doesn't matter. None of that matters. Peacemaking. So it's possible to talk a hostile crowd out of. Okay, it's already a violent mob, though.
Well, okay, so at the very least, it does say you can use fast talk to distract the mob, and that means that you might be able to, for example, fast talk them into leaving the facility. In which case, that solves the proprietor's problem.
But that is possible to talk a hostile crowd out of turning into a violent mob. They're already violent.
Would say just assign penalties.
Well, they're not hostile to us.
Okay. Yeah, if the crowd has already become violent, it's too late for peacemaking. That's actually on there. Let's see here. So I don't think fast talk. Leadership might work in this case since you are clearly wearing the tabards and are you are the law. Where was that at? That was because I forgot about that too.
Yeah, that's something I haven't quite seen the answer to. Is what is the authority level of an organization, even if you don't have any rank in that organization?
Hold on, I need to go back over here and make my stupid notes because I meant to do the city thing or the city stats for Bögenhafen, and I freaking forgot. All right. So just looking at this, I do think I will allow a leadership check. They will get the +3 on the mob or the fighters to sort of actually before I do that I need to double check what is drunk again.
Yeah. Is that -2?
Was that incapacitating in there? No, that's the wrong place. Clearly it's wrong place. It's over on notes, dummy. Rules. Okay, they are sober, tipsy, to drunk, or to unconscious. Okay, drunk is not listed on there. That's going to be a condition. Remember what kind of condition that is? Is that incapacitating?
I don't believe it was.
Yeah, it doesn't look that way. Yeah, because incapacitating, it's agony, choking, stuff like that. It's probably irritating. Yep, it's irritating. Drunk, you are highly intoxicated. -2 to Dex and IQ. -4 to self-control rolls, except those to resist cowardice. Reduce shyness by 2 levels if you have it. Well,
so,
okay.
-2.
Yeah. So +1 then to the will, because if you get the +3 because it's a mob, and but then the -2 because you're drunk, that becomes +1. Which honestly, they'll probably have like an 11 Probably.
Well, was there an accounting for the size of the group? I don't even know what the size is at this point. How about,
I said about 12. I said about 12, I think.
Oh, did you?
I said originally it's like 12, maybe 11. Or originally said 10. Then I'm like, well, maybe 12. So let's see.
I'm going to go ahead and make the roll and adjust as necessary. We're calling the +1. And I'm going to need every inch of it. Or is that plus? That was +1 for their resistance.
That is +1 for their resistance.
I made it by 0.
They made it by 0. Okay, so let's say you grabbed Clump and Clug's whistle because remember they
yeah.
several of them have like whistles. And you blow on it enough to get attention, and it's just I don't know what do you like just pointing to the door like
That
out
was exactly the sort of noise I was looking for.
And they're looking around, several of them are looking around a little confused, and then somehow Copper Tongue is going to ruin this with her klutz. How is she going to ruin this with her klutz? Do I have that actually there? Yep. Okay. So pratfall, dropping books, knocking over shelves with fragile items. Okay. So how is that going to work? Feel free to throw in any ideas that might work.
So Jörg is trying to de-escalate.
Yep.
Okay. So maybe he's partially successful, and she tries to help and goes in and accidentally knocks over some drink onto a guy and starts the fight up again.
Yeah, that was kind of the direction I was headed.
That works for me.
And she'll just look at Jörg and go, oops.
I am not going to necessarily run this as a combat because I don't have stats for a bunch of drunk merchants. And that would be kind of boring or weird. So damn it, I should have tracked down Giger's action thing, and I completely forgot. I need to actually do that later. So instead, I think I'm just going to have some drunk attacks on various PCs who can retaliate without any. You don't necessarily need to worry about. You probably don't want to break out swords and axes and such like that because, well, these guys are just punching one another. Let's see. So, do I have? Nope, that's a sickle. That's not appropriate.
I did have an idea that might be
Did it
useful
hurt?
here. So, are we the only ones actually participating in this other than
Thus far.
fighters themselves?
Thus far, yeah. And the fighters are not necessarily all breaking off from their fight either.
Right. So my thinking was if it's just us here, then we could potentially go with a tactics instead of strategy roll. It's effectively quote unquote mass combat.
Okay.
And then use the margin to determine the misfortune's chance.
I just wanted to punch somebody, though. I just wanted to punch PCs.
Well, I guess you could do it that way if you want.
And then I realized that none of my NPCs have regular punchies. Like brawling.
Well, probably not.
Stats on melee combat. Boo. Okay, so let's see. Does anybody remember what the what punch damage would be for a brawl for somebody with crappy strength of 10? It's gonna be 1d minus 2 crushing or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna start from the left. So the mess comes your way, and it just turns into a positive absolute clusterfrack. Wow, 1d minus 2. That's a lucky guess on my part. Soren, you've got a belligerent drunk who comes rushing toward you and takes a swing, and it is very clearly super telegraphed. And unfortunately, since he's drunk, that means he's at -2, so he only gets a +2, and doesn't come anywhere close to actually connecting. How does Soren react to this dummy?
Soren will like hold his cheek, or wherever this guy was punching. He'll hold his cheek and he says, "You bastard! You hit me!"
Even though he didn't come close.
And even though he didn't come close.
All right, is he like
He
punching
struck
him
him
back?
out of the watch.
You realise you just struck a man of the watch. And Soren's going to return the punch. This will be telegraphed to the jaw. No, it won't.
Critical fail. Holy cow.
Oh,
So
man.
you get to do the unarmed critical miss check thing, I think. Wow. When's the last time we've used that?
Been a while.
Mel's over there dancing because she wasn't the first one to roll the crit tonight.
Woohoo!
Oh, man. Ooh. Okay,
Mhm.
so you hit a solid object, wall, floor, etc. Instead of striking your foe or parrying his attack, take crushing damage equal to your thrusting damage to the body part you were using. So you were taking a swing at this guy, and he like slipped or something, and you just crack right into the wall.
1 point.
1 point, so it's not that bad, but and I need to make a note of try to fix that if I can.
Oh, there's a bad character in there.
Yeah, that's what I was like, I need to make a note to see if I can fix that. Okay, so Copper Tongue, same sort of thing happens. Dude comes, charging toward you, takes a swing, and may have hit. Success by 2.
Okay, so there's a size mod thing, but that's only
Success
a
by
1.
1. One day I will remember that. Today is not that day.
Jeez.
Does that include the DB?
I think so. Yeah, I think I added it in already.
Wow, that seems awfully low.
That's right. You did SOP putting the shield on.
Yep. Well, there
Okay,
is
I'm gonna
would a
double
size
check.
mod? I think would a size mod be like come into that on the defense?
Okay, that is right. Yeah, it's 11.5 because shield is 13, and you divide it by 2 and add 3 to get the effect, and then add 2. Wow. No, I don't think it would.
Okay.
But what is the DR she has on the torso armor?
It's like a 4.
Wow, he may not even do any damage. Nope, he hits you and may have healed you for a point somehow.
Okay.
And now it's your turn.
All right.
Technically, well, is that considered rigid?
No, I don't think so. Let me double check, see what it is.
It is DR3 plus, so you may have done that damage to himself.
She has got, where the hell is it?
Hang on.
Hauberk.
She has on a male hauberk.
Right. That's flexible, so no.
Oh, I am
To the
trying to fail.
groin. That's funny. Okay, so that means so his dodge is going to be increased. I'm not sure. I don't trust this dodge. Dodge is done the same way. No, it's based off of basic speed or move, right?
It's off basic speed. Dodge is basic speed.
You sure?
Yeah. No,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, ultimately, that doesn't matter. It's the same. I'm just not sure if I've got the correct information on this thing. Let's see. So basic speed, dodge. Yeah, dodge defense equals basic
Usually gonna
speed
be an
plus
8.
30. Okay, so it is an 8. That means he would be at a 10 because of telegraphed. But does he... Dex does determine basic speed, doesn't it?
Yes. Dex
So if
and
he's at -2, because of his drunkenness. That's going to drop.
That would be
him.
-1 to parry and nothing to dodge.
Are you sure? -2 to
Yeah,
dodge?
it'd have to be -4 to affect the dodge.
Okay, so his basic speed is 5, though. It's flat. So wouldn't that drop it down to based off of 4?
You're making my brain.
Oh yeah, because I think his dodge is 8 with the basic speed of 5, but with the dex that would reduce his basic speed to like 475 or something like that. So it would be 479 would be his dodge instead of with the +2. So he just narrowly missed it. All right, so you put this guy on the ground. He is absolutely out of the fight. And why the hell did I close that? I'm blaming Giger.
Why the hell not?
Speaking of Giger, I got a dude who comes, over there and he tries to take you out with a wild haymaker punch that's coming from downtown. This is, oh wow, look at that. Success by 5. This is telegraphed.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Oh,
What would it
actually,
be to essentially block by putting your head down and letting him hit you in the helmet?
I just realized also that Mel would have successfully blocked that guy. It would not have failed because he's telegraphing, so she would have gotten an additional +2. So,
That's right.
That means he would have potentially punched her shield.
I think
That
he
would
would
be
have
rigid.
missed a little too. No, yes.
Yeah, she failed by 1. So with a +2, that's going to be a succeed by 1. So he punched her shield. So that means he probably definitely hurt his hand. And then she kicked him in the daddy bags.
Punched him.
Punched him in the daddy bags.
Her kick skill isn't quite as good.
All right. So Jorg, defend yourself, sir, or take it.
Where is it headed? What's the
He's
target?
drunk, so the hit location is apparently, that doesn't make any sense. Why is he hitting you in the foot? Let's try that again. Looks like he's going for your knee. I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah, I
Damn
suppose
it,
I should withdraw that
that
then.
one's got bad characters too.
Let's see. So we will do dodge. Do I have enough room to fall back?
I'm certain you can probably do that. Maybe you'll fall back outside. Oh no, he's in your territory.
Oops.
And that's when you break out the baton.
I guess I don't really need to. He did telegraph that. We'll just go with that. Easily deflected or dodged.
Dodge by 4, yep. Whiff. All right. So
Suppose I
then you
could've
may
parried that.
retaliate however you wish to retaliate.
I had wanted to find a thing real quick
Find it faster.
because I haven't done that in a while, and I thought that was the case. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna shove him back in. So it's just dex roll, which fails.
Wow.
I don't know what to do anymore.
Okay. So ultimately what I'm doing here is this is gonna sort of determine just how I'm only gonna do the one quick thing through here, and it'll sort of determine just how much out of hand it gets. We've got one guy absolutely down. 2 guys are not down. I don't know if I want to get into a fight with Copper Tongue. All right, Enfys, you gotta do lunges over there and tries to hit you and doesn't come anywhere close to actually connecting. He goes, whiff!
Excellent.
How does he retaliate? Does he retaliate?
Have other people been using weapons or
Nope.
just fisticuffs?
Everybody's just been using fisticuffs. Oh wow. I guess were you positive is 1d -2, Daniel? Because it looks like Enfys is actually strength 10 and his punch is listed as 1d -3.
I don't know why that would be.
Huh.
Yeah,
If you
Copper
have brawling skill at Dex +2, you get a further
Yeah,
plus
that
1.
doesn't make it less.
Well, I fixed it anyway. Yeah, so they're just wailing away, and it's super telegraphed and all that jazz. So up to Enfys how he wishes to. Yeah.
Glue them all together.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll try a punch.
All right. Are you telegraphing or anything, or just
No,
going
no.
with? Oh, okay. All right. Punch, and wow, fail by 2. It's about right, right?
We are rolling really badly today.
Yeah, we are. On the bright side, the villagers are not or the drunk merchants or whatever are not doing exactly great either. All right,
could-
and the last one will be at Christoph. You got a guy who critically failed his punch. All right, so I get to
Gosh.
unarmed critical miss. Ooh, he
Oh,
just
I like
strained
it.
a limb, pulled a muscle, took 1 point of injury, and the limb is crippled. Okay. Yeah. So you may retaliate however you wish to, as that guy looked like a complete moron.
Okay, I will do a, I think telegraph to the face. So it's a net -1
Yes.
to it. All right, let's
No.
try that.
Yes.
+4 -5.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, right. No. Yes. No. Yes.
Oh, failure by
Fail by-
5. Holy crap.
Well, at least you're
He
being
swings.
consistent.
He goes for like the hail, what do you call it? Haymaker? Is that the right word?
Yep.
Like just the, rah!
Look at all those
Not quite a
rolls,
critical
man.
though.
Yeah. Look at those terrible rolls. Well, look at mine.
You have been
Mine
rolling
two back.
shit.
Look at mine 2 back to back. It's like the guy rolls a 17 on the crit fail, and then on the unarmed crit miss rolls a 17. Like, ah. Okay, so it will take a while to get this. It does spill out into the streets a little bit, and additional watch do eventually sort of show up. None of the PCs are necessarily going to be, particularly injured. You might get some like, little bruises and, maybe minor cuts, but it's not going to actually be actual physical damage. It's just the cool, hey, I've been in a fight and these bruises will heal up by the next scene. But yeah, so it turns into something of a mess. The responding guards that do arrive will be led by Sergeant Elsie, who is going to crack down on these fellows pretty damned hard. And so it's like 10 of them are definitely going to be arrested, regardless of the fact that they're. And it's like, hey, you can't do this. I work for House Steinhager. Clonk. As he gets, clubbed over the head by a sap or a baton or something, and she immediately she's gonna look at Jorg, and she's like got that very angry look, but when she notes Rudy, who's like been basically sitting over there watching the fight, like maybe sipping somebody's beer, she's got a look of absolute and utter disgust. Like, yeah, that dude is not worth anybody's time. So she will, cause these guards will, definitely, club some of these fellows down, arrest them, and it's like, all right, they're gonna haul them off, and she will pause very briefly. Where did I put that? I seem to have misplaced it. There it is. She is going to pause very briefly by Jorg and say, we should talk later.
Hi, I need a drink.
And the rest of the, it's like she clearly gets along better with the landlady than or the bark lady than Rudy, who is like, just what? It's everything's fine. We're all fine. But so the fight is going to be over, and Rudy is like, gonna note cut lip where you got clicked or clipped, and he's like, yeah, that right there is why you don't get involved in these fight between the merchants. About then you hear the bells from the Sigmar Temple, which is generally how they tell what time it is, and he goes, and look at that, it is now beer o'clock. Remember, you will have all day tomorrow off, but we will be coming on shift this time tomorrow as we shift to that irritating as hell night shift.
Right. Okay.
Does that mean I get 8? Does that mean I get 8 points back from?
I have already adjusted your tally up. Once I think we determined yours. You recovered yours at noon.
That's right.
Which does remind me, I need to open Sybil's again, and because hers replenishes at midnight, and so she got 8 back, but she is going to be maybe extending that false memory or maintaining it. So that puts that back up to another 2, which means that is +2. I get to make another check for her. She's really pushing that on the calamity table, isn't she? Let's see what happens now. Oh, that's rough. Wizard's Grasp of Own Magic weakens reduce her threshold by 4D plus 10 for the next 1D months.
Yeah, that sucks.
So that is going to be by 23. Ow! Why couldn't I have gotten Nosh to roll that? That would have been awesome. So that means her threshold is 7 for 3 months. Oh, wow. Additionally, all the wizard spells are at -3 to skill for 8 weeks. Wow. That sucks for her. I have to make a note of that.
Hope she got done what she needed to.
Okay, so, and I determined that was, okay, threshold down to 7 for 3 months. Ouch. Yeah, that's going to really suck because that threshold being reduced down to 7 means that anytime she makes has to check against the calamity table, it's going to be much higher now because it's normally +1 for every 5 points above 30. Now it's going to be +1 for every 5 points above 7. Well, luckily, Kristoff is, she's probably going to pull in Kristoff to do something bad for a while, make him do all the work.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm curious, what would that, holy cow, that is brutal. Minus that, divided by that. Ugh. Right now, if she had to make another calamity check, it would be at +7. Oof. All right, so everybody is now off shift. All right. Yeah, the other thing that did happen during the day, which, my notes are garbage. I should have done a better job of this, is you will have heard that there have been or there is going to be a witch burning at the Temple of Sigmar tonight. Apparently, the witch hunter tracked one down.
Or made one up.
Don't say that very loud.
It's not a hanging, but Compertong is going to go watch.
See if
I'm
it does the
definitely
job.
watching. I want to find out who this witch is. Maybe it's HP.
Hey, you could always
Probably
put
not.
the fire out.
That would be really funny, you got to admit. Where it's like, they go, I'm going to set this fire. And he's just like, dee-dee. No, he's not. Why is this fire not there? Find the witch!
You're using 2 green of wood.
Well, Infus hasn't bought off his enemy, so it clearly can't be Hans Peter getting burned. We should probably at some point figure out why they're enemies, other than, they're just enemies. Okay, so on your way back to the barracks, presumably to hang up your tabards and or do whatever. Is there anything planned or anything that I'll start with York first? Is there anything that he has immediately planned?
Well, if he's got the day, then it's probably the first
We've got the
opportunity
night
he's
and
had.
the day.
So it'll be the first opportunity he's had to go out to the farm. So he's going to head out that way.
All right, immediately?
Depends on how late it is.
Remember, it's hour and a half, 2 hours before the sun goes down, and then you will have all day tomorrow until an hour and a half to 2 hours before the sun goes down, and that's when you go back on shift.
Okay, he will go mostly immediately. He will give Elsa a moment.
Okay.
Other than that, he is going to head right out.
Oh,
In fact,
head
he
to
may
the front.
suggest to Elsa that she might join him for a walk.
She'll consider it and then say, "Okay, I think I can arrange. I can do that. It's been a while since I saw your mom. She doesn't come into town very much anymore." All right. What about Copper Tongue?
For
Other
tonight?
than I'm going to go watch a burn-in.
She's going to go watch the burn-in.
And I believe Infus said he was also planning on doing that.
What time is the burning? Is it going to be in the morning?
It's going
Or
to
are
be
we talking
tonight.
tonight?
It's going to be tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm-
because you have to do it at night because it's more dramatic that way. It's all dark outside, and you have the burning.
So somewhere in the back of Queen's mind, there's something itching at the back of her brain. The fact that she's actually going somewhere willingly with Infus, but she's like, somebody's going to burn. That sounds interesting.
Well, you never know when Infus is going to give you an opportunity and excuse to kick him in the balls.
Or
That is true.
now cast itch in the back of your skull.
So
He may have-
Kristoff is going to scout the area and find a good vantage point where he could set up his sniper perch.
Okay. Is he like actually planning on potentially hitting the witch hunter during the burning?
Yep. There's going to
There's
be a lot of people in the
there.
crowd. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
All
what he's looking
right.
for.
Okay. That'll cause everybody to react interestingly. Okay. So does he
gonna
have
be-
urban survival? I don't remember. No, it would be urban survival. Well, it might be.
He has stealth, shadowing, camouflage.
You got to do that cool thing where you do the high arcing shot first, and then you fire a second shot that lands at the same time.
That'd be cool. And again, he's not trying to be a martyr. He wants to try
Right.
to find a place where he can take the shot where nobody will notice right away that it was from him or that direction, and still have a chance to escape.
Right.
So are we noticing FX going off by himself?
Well, yeah, probably, but he does this all the time because by now all of the other PCs have determined he has the loner disad. He doesn't like being around people.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to put much thought into him going away then.
Maybe not until it's like you potentially see the witch hunter take an arrow to the throat, and you go, "That looks like a really familiar arrow." Nah,
Yeah. More concerned about
but maybe.
Queenie's foot.
Okay, and what about Soren?
He's gonna go. Why do you want to go see a witch burning? That's kind of gruesome and morbid, right?
I know, right?
I know. Right.
Well, I'm not gonna sit here and drink on my own. Fair enough. I'll tag along.
Who knows? This could go spectacularly bad.
You guys are starting to creepify me.
When did that first happen for you?
Now that I think about it, you guys have always been creepy. Soren will then
What
grab
you're
his
talking about?
he'll grab his bottle of wine and he says, "Fine, let's go. But I'm drinking while we're there."
Sure. You just drink in that human misery.
I am scrolling through her spells to see.
I'm sure they deserved it, whatever it was.
Okay, right. So, there is obviously a fairly large crowd that is gathering to, at the temple. You will see a number of the priests don't look particularly comfortable or super happy about this because, well, you know how hard it is to get that smell out of their relics. But they're going around. They're getting prepared. There is a pyre that is being erected, and but there are also a number of guards that are around that are just doing their thing. So Christoph, give me, let's see, give me a stealth check in the box or in the skull, and then probably also a climb check in the skull. Let's
Okay.
see.
What's visibility like? Like how dark is it? Dusk, sun just going
You're
down.
not gonna need to worry about light because, well, there's going to be a very big bonfire there. It's a town, and they're going to keep the light really bright, so to speak. All right, so you in the crush of people.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say before you do that, because I would have had a chance to cast my spells. Some of my spells.
Well, you might end up doing that once you get up to the upper area, or once you get into your hiding place. But yeah, you can theoretically find some place to do that.
Yeah, because he would try to cast his mage stealth. He's not so good at it, but as long as nobody's around.
All right.
And it lasts for 1 minute. I think that might be enough to get in position, or I'm not sure. Or he could just build up some extra chaos.
Probably not, because that's wow. I'm actually surprised you can't extend that.
It's 3 to cast, 2 to maintain.
Oh, I wonder why it did. I guess I just have a different version. Okay, yeah, duh, it's right there. Derp. Yeah, so you could theoretically do. Yeah, that could potentially work. So
he doesn't want to be
Steve.
like an hour, but if to help him get to where he needs to, critical strategic castings.
Okay. Yep. And that could potentially give you an opportunity. You're like, oh, I used this. Now it's time for me to increase the spell. Yeah, spill. I'm having word issues all of a sudden. And the other thing I wanted to look at was keen sight, whether that actually does anything. I mean, for range, doesn't look that way. That's interesting. GURPS in their spells. Okay, so yeah, if you want to cast some spells, you are more than able to possibly do that. Success by 1. All right. Silence. I don't remember what silence does other than silence. All right. So cost 2. Time to maintain 1. Lasts a minute. Creates an area of quiet. Okay.
I might have. Huh.
Oh yeah, you were going for the mage stealth, not the silence.
Well, I guess I got confused.
Yeah, but apparently looking at when I'm reading the silence, it's like, yeah, that you wouldn't want to cast that first because that is literally an area of silence. That means you couldn't cast any spells there.
I guess I misread it. I thought it was the basic version of stealth, of mage stealth.
Yeah. So you just clicked on the wrong one. You clicked on silence instead of mage stealth.
The mage stealth, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hold on.
So mage stealth basically adds 3 to your subject's stealth whenever. Okay.
Oh
so
no, sorry. I meant it's hush is what it's called. Hush. It's hush adds 3 to my stealth whenever, or 5 to hearing, or subtract 5 from hearing.
Okay.
When listening. That's the one I meant, because mage stealth is the same as hush, except that I can talk. I can make no sounds, either accidentally or on purpose. And then mage stealth is the same, except that I can still talk.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
Okay, so plus 3, that will bring that there. Okay. So you are able to duck behind an area and then scramble up a wall, and then run across another area and scramble up another little wall, and you have found a decent place that you think that you can overlook. I mean, obviously, there's going to be potentially better places, but they'd take a lot longer to get to, and
Yep.
potentially be a lot more difficult to get to. And then you just sort of settle in to wait, like nearly everybody else.
How high am up and how much cover do I have?
It's probably going to be on the roof of like a two-story building. Actually, I'm gonna look at the map. Where did I put the map? There's the map. And which one? I believe 23 is 20. Okay, so I should do that. So he's out of town, and everybody else is going over here towards this thing, and I'm actually not 100% sure where that is in the temple. Let me check really quick about whether there are any Temple Sigmar's maps. I just want to see what the general outline of those things kind of are. Nope, that one's too big. Those are too small. That's awesome. Thank you very much for not being super helpful. Cool. It's fine. Needless to say, the crowd is going to be rather large because you got all the people. So with regards to your question, yeah, it probably is like 2 stories. I don't remember exactly how high up that is. Any cover would probably be probably up half, although you could like drop completely down to get total with no problem. Let's see. So crowds gathering, and it is they're clearly getting ready. Soren, you are going to note that your 2 friends from the other night have been sort of discreetly trailing you again.
Okay. I will make it known to them that I've seen them. I'll give them the nod, sup, but I'll keep going about my business unless they talk to me.
Yeah, it's like when you do that, the talker is gonna nod in a different direction, like he clearly wants to chat, but not necessarily right here.
So have we actually gathered at the spot, or are we still en route when this happens?
At this point, you're probably still mostly en route, because it's like you've got a fairly large crowd that is interested in seeing a potential heretic put to the torch.
All right, so Soren will say to Amphison that she's going to go chat to these lads for a second. Stick around if you want, otherwise I'll catch up.
No, do you want me to accompany you?
Sure.
Excellent.
So y'all are abandoning poor Coppertongue.
Well, she can join as well.
Fine.
The dude, as soon as he sees multiple of you, approaching, he's gonna get the sort of like, what the hell expression, and like shake his head, and it's just like, no, like, nope, not having any of that. And then they're going to turn and walk away. He clearly just wanted to talk to Soren.
Well, Soren's going to go, hey, what the hell? Sort of gesture, and then say, oh, obviously not that important. Let's go. Let's go watch this witch burn.
These guys are weird, Soren.
Yeah, I know. They're part of the, I don't know, New Thieves Guild, Thieves Nouveau, whatever they're going to call themselves.
Why the heck were they trying to? Maybe they were recruiting.
I don't know.
But yeah, I'm sure I'll catch up with them later.
I'm sure they'll come by again.
Bit skittish they are.
Okay, so let's see. Now I need to determine how far away is Kristoff from where the witch hunter's going to be.
Where was the burning?
It's going to be like in the courtyard of the temple.
Said 18?
23.
23. Gotcha. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
The Gartenplatz. That's God
Oh,
Plaza.
it's out in the street, not in the actual building itself.
Well, the courtyard. This obviously this map is not clearly 100% accurate, but it's going to have some sort of courtyard where a guy can get up there and do the thing.
I would think he would have to be on some roof.
Yeah. I currently have him on. I'm presuming he's like scrambled up on
okay,
one
over
of
there.
these smaller roofs, such like that. I'm just trying to figure out what's the range penalty going to be.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. And you didn't actually set a grid on this, so we don't have
No, because
accurate.
I have no idea what the scale actually is. I have found a lot of Bögenhafen maps that are basically they're the same thing, but none of them have anything on like a scale. So looking at 40, the two probably go to 40 and I guess 43 maybe as well. Those are gates. And well, they're town gates, so they're fairly large. I think you're going to probably be able to have it. Obviously, you're going to be able to have a single wagon enter, but I suspect it's probably going to be like almost 2 lanes.
Well, you could do it this way and say, well, how far away can is he comfortable getting as far as the distance penalties go?
That's ultimately the question there for FX. What is the how far away with regards to the potential assassination range is he comfortable with making the shot?
You probably want to be, just look real quick. I was thinking about that. I wasn't sure if you're going to let me choose or just make it random, but I would say, hold on, sorry.
Yeah, it kind of
bow
depends. If
skill
your max
sets.
effective range is 20 yards, then there's only so many
Yeah.
places you can be.
Yeah, I'd probably want to be around there. Exactly. I don't know if I'll get a height advantage, +2 or something like that.
20 yards is going to be pretty damn close.
60 feet. Yeah, so somewhere around there.
So 60 feet, did you say?
Well, let's say 20 yards max, 10 yards.
Right. I'm like thinking that's 60 feet. Hi, my name is Phil. I'm a dummy. Okay, so let's see. So the accused will be brought out. Just looks like a regular person who has, very clearly been questioned under duress. But the witch hunter, Verbergus Heinstruck, will get up there like sort of like on a pulpit, and will begin basically doing public speaking. I did. All right. To announce this person's crimes and all that jazz. And wow, he critically failed the public speaking oratory. Wait, let me see. Does he have luck? He does not have luck. But so he just sounds like a lunatic as he's up there, and everybody is starting to shift a little uncomfortably, like, what the hell? This dude sounds like a crazy person. It goes to the whole fanaticism and intolerance and obsession and all that jazz of his. But this fellow, hold on, I have to find it again. He has been, where are the things? He was arrested and has been charged, and they have determined that he is absolutely a witch. They have been this guy has been overheard talking to his cat, and they have confirmed that he fed the cat human blood in its milk, because more than one witness testified that the mayor told his cat to stop yelling and drink your bloody milk. And everybody's like, really? That's really? So he's up there doing his thing, and then he is going to hold aloft or take a torch from one of the priests who's standing there, and declare that in the name of Sigmar they are consigning this monster to the pyre, and he will set it ablaze. And I have no idea when Christoph is planning on engaging.
Well, he would have done that before. He
Okay.
would have aimed. Yeah, he would have timed it.
Yeah, you can get
aim
max
for about-
aim.
Yep. Get my max aim for 3 seconds, and then
You got to
fire.
time it. You got to time it when he's holding the torch over his head. So when he takes a stun, he drops it on himself and lights himself on fire.
Okay, so calculate all your stuffs.
Yeah, I got it all there. I just need to know what range you want me to use, and then
it's whatever the range is that you were. I think you said it was 20 yards, so that is -6. Which kind of arrows are you planning on using, and are you targeting something specific?
well, if I can, I don't know if I get a bonus for the height. I was estimating a +2, but I don't know if that's correct or not.
Oh, right. Okay. So no, that's not how that works. What it does is half the height in yards is subtracted from your effective range.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so he's treated as if he's at 10 yards, not 20?
Right, or whatever it is.
I'm probably 20, 30 feet up. I don't know.
It's 2 stories, probably. I don't know
20?
what 2 stories is. That 20
Ish.
Yeah, it's about 10 feet ish. Yeah, per floor.
Okay,
we got
so
high ceilings or not.
10 yards becomes -5 instead of -6. So wow, it's actually not as significant as I was thinking it was going to be.
Well, you could push the range out a little farther based on the height.
Yeah, that's possibly true.
Yeah, I mean, if I was at 20 yards, that puts me at the 15-yard range band. I'll take it. That's fine.
All right, so that's
So I'll use that one, and then aim plus accuracy, all out attack. I wasn't sure on the rules for bracing on bows. I always get confused, but I think I could sort of kind of steady one, the bow against the wall or the corner or something like that. I'm not sure if that's accurate.
that is a good question. I don't know. Can you?
I feel
Yeah.
like you can't, but I don't recall if it actually says that.
See aim page
Shoot,
364.
+2, and I'm shooting the face.
If you brace a firearm or crossbow.
Okay.
So
Shooting
that
the
would be bow.
face. You should shoot the vitals if you want effect. If you want to kill
Does
him.
he have? Would he have armor?
He is wearing his normal clothes, yes. Regarding that, he
But I think
is
it's
very
armor. I mean-
obviously wearing a corselet, that steel corselet thing that covers the torso and the groin. But otherwise, he's got lots of black clothing and a couple skulls. He actually does on his back. He's also got a fairly large shield that Copper Tongue, just immediately realizes that thing is solid iron.
Then you probably want to hit him in the skull instead of the face.
Skull is harder to hit.
An extra
Not from
-2.
behind.
Yeah, if you can get behind him, it's the same as the face.
I mean, I don't know where I'm positioned, but if I could be behind, then I'm behind.
Where I have him right now is he's mostly in the side. So the dude would be looking directly ahead, but he will occasionally turn his head this way and that way. You realize if you shoot him in the head and he misses, or you just graze his ear, he's going to get up and hold his hand up and say, "Fight, fight, fight."
Fight, fight, fight. Ay, ay, ay.
Well,
Okay. Well,
Make the old empire great again.
we shall go for it. What's the penalty that I'm looking at? Face or back? I got confused. I'm
Skull
thinking the
from
neck is a
behind.
-5.
Skull from behind is -5.
Okay, so if I can do the skull from behind, we'll do the -5.
All right. So what kind of arrows are you using?
Crap. I'm using the impaling ones because I guess it would have to be, or armor
Broadhead.
piercing.
Oh, you are doing AP?
I mean, sorry, they're not armor piercing. They're in impaling.
Standard.
Right? Is that
No,
what I
he's
need to?
he's
hit the
talking
skull?
about the bodkin. He's talking
If you're
about
going
the
to go for the skull, do you want to use the bodkin points?
Bodkin
I
are
I don't know that you
bodkin.
necessarily do.
it's piercing with an armor divisor of 2.
Okay, that's
Just to get
armor piercing.
So
Is that what I want for the skull? I mean, the skull's
Yes.
only a 2.
Which means it'll
The
be
issue is it's going
DR1.
to do less damage.
No, it won't. Still does
actually
by 4.
doesn't. I'm looking at
If it hits the
his-
brain, yeah.
Well, that's true.
That's what I'm going for. I'm not overthinking it. All right, so I'm shooting. Oh man, I need a 12 or
are-
less to hit. I can't
Good
use
luck.
extra effort on this.
Nope.
I think you can kneel.
let's-
Are you kneeling for +1?
What?
Why would you get a +1
No.
for kneeling with a bow? That doesn't make any sense.
I think you get a +1 to kneel
That's
with a
never
bow.
been a thing.
Well, I am about to shoot.
So you get all out attack +1 determined.
I got that one in there. I mean, I got aim. I got all out attack. I got the range band bonus, and that's pretty much it. And then the -5.
That's the thing about bows. There's really not a whole lot to do there.
And he rolls a 9.
Success by
Success by
3.
3.
Okay.
You want to check my math? I think that's a hit.
That math looked right to me. Okay, so roll your damage, and then let's see. I will reduce it by 1 since it's so that's 9 gets through instead of 8.
Are you familiar with the return missile spell?
Oh no! That would be
Wow,
my luck.
this is gonna suck lots.
Times
So that's
4?
9 times. That's actually times 4. Well, that is absolutely a death check. Do I
He
get
doesn't
any?
die.
Do I get any penalties? I know I get. I think it's a -10 on
You have
the
to roll again
knockdown.
for each one you cross.
There's no penalties, but his knockdown roll is going to be at -10 because it was a major wound.
Yeah.
Right. Look at
the-
that. That
every
is the
multiple-
death check. I failed by 4.
Oh.
Okay, so he's up there doing his thing and he's turning and he's like, I'm consigning you to the thing. And then this arrow buries itself right in the back of his head. And he twitches and just collapses. And absolute pandemonium breaks out.
Yeah, so as soon
because
as the arrow
people
lets
start
loose,
freaking out. Yeah, hold
he's
on.
gonna duck
It's
down.
just like-
He's not gonna stand there and watch.
Yep, it's like people just start panicking and running. You've got people shouting. You've got the guards exclaiming, and and immediately you're going to start hearing bells. The bells in the temple ring, as they're kind of freaking out there too. And then so much for the burning. But yeah, it's like straight up people, semi riot going on there, and some of the PCs may get swept along. And with that, we are going to fade, smash cut, hard to black. Cue the music, roll credits. If you're watching or listening to this and you have any comments, questions, complaints, or general hecklings, well, keep the general hecklings to yourself. But otherwise, feel free to leave a comment here or find us at Discord. Please consider liking and subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels. Or don't, I'm not your dad. Anyway, thank you for watching Christoph Murder a Man. Olympus out.
See ya.
Bye.